do, like when we had tornadoes the other night? What do you do when it's stormy weather?
We kind of just tuck ourselves in here. Had to put a tarp up because the tent was leaking through here.
When is the last time you had to worry about where you would sleep at night or if you'd have food to eat? For so many of us, that is the furthest thing from our mind. We take for granted things like having indoor plumbing and having a roof over our head. Well, tonight, I want to introduce you to Trey. Trey is 4 years old, and when he showers in the middle of the woods without any running water. When he has to use the bathroom, this is it, this old Lincoln log bucket. There are more than 70,000 Treys in Florida, 70,000 homeless children. And if they're lucky, they get to sleep in a car or a motel. Think about that for a minute. We live in America. How can that happen to these innocent children? I've lived here on the First Coast for several years now. I had no idea that there were so many homeless children right here in our backyard. Trey's family graciously invited me into the woods to show me how they live. And what I saw, well, I'll show you.
This little area here is more like for holding food. You guys could come in here, you just gotta squat a little bit.
Erica Alderman and her 4 young children moved to the First Coast right before Hurricane Matthew hit. The home they planned to rent got flooded. With nowhere to go.
Wanna wipe my face off? I'll wipe yours off.
They've lived in their car, motels, and now here, hidden in the woods off a dirt road in tents.
This is the first time I've ever been put in a situation like this. And this is what we used to do for fun. And now I'll probably, once I get a place, never go camping again.
Erica's 2 youngest kids go to preschool. Her oldest 2 attend elementary school in St. Johns County.
I'm learning about math, multiplication, handwriting.
What's your favorite subject?
Ooh, recess.
We're not showing his face because his mom says most of his classmates have no idea this is where he and his sister go.
It's a little orange bug. It always crawls on paper.
When they get off the school bus.
My 3rd grade, she gets dressed at school. She goes into the office, she gets cleaned up and gets dressed at school. And my 11-year-old, he gets showers every Monday and Fridays at school to stay clean. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty difficult on him, but as far as like their grades and stuff, their grades are great.
Erica grew up in St. Johns County and moved back for the schools. It has the top-rated school district in the state. St. Johns County is full of pristine neighborhoods and manicured lawns. It's the 2nd wealthiest county in Florida. But hidden among this booming community are hundreds of homeless students. More than 700, according to the district's latest numbers.
Well, they're a little shocked that we even have homeless in St. Johns County, and then when I tell them we have homeless in every single school, that even shocks them a little more.
Kim McNichol, the district's homeless liaison, says there are homeless children in every single public school in St. Johns County. Homeless, though not always how you might imagine. Some live in cars, many couch surf.
Yuck.
For Erica, one of the biggest challenges of being homeless
Say, Bobby, your butt's dirty.
is keeping her kids clean.
The shower.
They use this makeshift shower.
It's right here. It's actually got the bucket in it. I don't know why, but there it is. That's normally back there.
So where's the water come from?
The water comes from a bag. It's in the truck. I gotta fill it up today. I can show you the bag in the truck, but it hangs there, and it's just like a regular shower. It's got a little shower head on it, on the hose, and take showers. Can't leave it run constantly or use the water, so I usually adjust the flow for the kids.
So this is where you go to the bathroom?
Yes, that is where we go to the bathroom. We put a bag in it, seat down, unfortunately.
Her son took us inside his tent to show us where he sleeps.
It's probably a mess right now, but this is where I sleep.
I'll sit right here and you can wash me off.
Living in the woods, they have to think about the wild animals. This week, raccoons got away with their loaf of bread. I asked Erica's son if he gets scared.
No, it's normally just when I wake up because of the wild boars are out, and I just wake up alone.
And so what do you think about living out here in a tent?
I don't really like it really well because the mosquitoes bite you, and I don't really have friends to play with.
Tonight, Erica and her kids are staying in a hotel. She told me that the Department of Children and Families called today to tell her that they're putting her family up in a hotel for 2 nights. And she told me she could not wait to take a hot shower. You may be wondering what you can do to help all of these innocent children. Well, get involved. The school district has a program. It's called Assist, and it helps identify homeless students, and it provides them with resources to break the cycle. They will gladly accept your donations. They're also looking for mentors. But this just isn't a St. Johns County problem. Look at how many homeless students are here on the First Coast. More than 2,000 in Duval County alone. Tomorrow night at 11, you're going to hear from a local judge who says DCF is not doing enough to help homeless children in Florida. And we'll show you just how many are living on their own with no mom, no dad, not even a legal guardian. You can learn more about this right now on firstcoastnews.com. Last night, we took you inside of the tents where a St. Johns County family has been living in the woods. The precious children who live there are among the more than 700 homeless students in St. Johns County. Tonight, a circuit judge says the Department of Children and Families is not doing enough to help these children, not just in his county, but all across Florida.
These tents are home for 4 young children who live here with their mom.
We don't have electric, we don't have running water that we could just get to whenever wanted or take a shower whenever. We just don't have half the things that anybody with a house do.
Despite where they live,
You'll wipe my face off? I'll wipe yours off.
Erica Alderman's 2 oldest children go to elementary school every day. Most of their classmates have no idea they are homeless.
What's the hardest part about living out here? Keeping kids clean clothes, dressing them for school in the morning is probably the hardest.
According to the most recent data from the Department of Education, there are more than 70,000 homeless students in Florida. More than 7,000 are considered unaccompanied youth, meaning they have no mom or dad in the picture, no legal guardian caring for them.
I mean, who's the parent?
Megan Wall is the managing attorney of St. Johns County Legal Aid, a nonprofit that helps the poor.
Who's taking care of these children? We're talking about elementary school kids, we're talking about 16-year-old girls that don't know what to do about, people coming up to them to traffic them. I mean, we're talking about people that are under 18 that don't have anybody.
Right now, there are at least 30 elementary school age kids essentially alone in St. Johns County.
Now, this is unacceptable.
Circuit Judge John Alexander
How many of those are unaccompanied?
meets each month with a committee he formed
And that's up from October.
to track how many students are homeless
31 in elementary schools.
and see how they can help them.
So that's one of our problems, and that's why we started meeting a couple years ago, is because to do something and try to fill the void where the Department of Children and Families won't step forward on these kids.
Until Judge Alexander called me and said, look, I'm getting these numbers from the school system. Can you believe these numbers? I really didn't even think that they were accurate. It is an unbelievably hidden amount of children.
Judge Alexander believes the Department of Children and Families is focusing on kids who are overtly abused and ignoring kids whose problems, though they may seem less dire in the short term, need help.
But children who are couch surfing meet every definition of abandonment. And the department under Chapter 39 is constitutionally and statutorily charged with protecting children who have been abused, abandoned, or neglected, or at risk of being abused, abandoned, or neglected. Can anyone make an argument that a child being raised in a car, no kitchen, no bathroom, raised in a car, is not at risk of being abused, abandoned, or neglected? I don't think that argument can be made.
We asked to sit down with the head of DCF. We were told no one would be available for an interview. A spokeswoman sent us this statement saying, in part, unlike abuse, abandonment, or neglect, homelessness alone is not an automatic qualifier for state intervention. It went on to say that DCF works very closely with the school system in St. Johns County and is committed to ensuring that every child has the opportunity to be safe, healthy, and educationally and developmentally on track.
It seems like DCF really should be identifying every one of those kids and at least providing what services would be appropriate for that particular child.
This little area here is more like for holding food.
So for now, Erica will continue to look for a permanent place to live while she looks for a job
Yuck.
and hopes for a brighter future.
Hopefully a more stable place to live. That's number one goal that we try and work on every day.
Her story is just one of thousands like it in Florida.
I think the department has to take a long, hard look. Do these 75,000 students statewide deserve more than a group of volunteers trying to make their life better on the edges? And I think it's something the department has to really address. They're the ones to do it. And if they're not going to do it, then we have to have volunteer groups to try to fill the void.
Since Hurricane Matthew, the number of homeless students in St. Johns County has jumped by about 150. The St. Johns County School District's Assist program works to identify the homeless children and steps in to help them with everything from prom dresses to paying for extracurricular activities. Their goal is to give students hope and also the resources to break the cycle of poverty. They're always looking for donations and also for mentors. But again, this is not just a problem in St. Johns County. There are homeless students in every county in the state. And we have a lot more information right now on our website. Just head to firstcoastnews.com.